Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kazu here, and today we have a new game to play, Roadwarden, which just came out on Steam. I'll leave a link in the description below if you're interested in this game, but from my knowledge, it is going to be an isometric RPG, text-based adventure, so it's going to be very similar to visual novels, point-and-click adventurers, those types and styles of games, a little bit more old school. The RPG fantasy elements I'm getting is going to be kind of similar to D&D, and I'm a big fan of D&D, so that's kind of why I decided to buy this game, not knowing much about it, and we're really going to be diving blind. So this is going to be a first reaction, first impressions sort of video, and let's just get right into it. So I'm going to start a new game. Actually, let's take a look at the settings. So you can see we're in full screen. We can actually change the font from basic to pixel. Oh wow. So if you prefer, the more retro style of having pixel fonts, you can completely do that. I think for the purpose of, recording this video, though, I do want this to be easier to read, so we're going to go with the basic. But I actually do think the pixel is more charming. We can edit the narration text speed, adjust our volume, change from window or full screen. We want tutorial. I have no idea how to play this game. And that seems to be about it. Actually, no, wait. There was a control tab. Okay, there are hotkeys, or, there are actual keys that you will need to press. Don't think we need to worry too much about that, though. Quick save is F5, quick load is F8. That could be something big, especially if you are a Bethesda game player and you load saves often, but hopefully we don't have to do that too much. So we're going to start a new game, and I'll try to narrate this as much as I can. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Roadwardens not only accept this struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and, if possible, get rid of beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. So I can either leave the safety of the city walls, or I still have my doubts. Interesting. Well, since we're going into this blind, I think we really just want to embrace the YOLO. Just go all in. We're going to leave the safety of the city walls, not knowing anything about the world yet. Please select the difficulty mode. Oh, okay, so we can already pick difficulty. It's going to be casual, which we're never going to pick because we're not filthy casuals. And we have standard and restrictive. By the way, if you do pick casual mode, I'm not berating you. Just my preference is never to play the easiest mode. We want to at least start on standard or even restrictive. Increased nighttime damage, regular rule set. The only difference between standard and restrictive seems to be 10 days of your time limit. That's 25%, which is a lot. We're just going to start with restrictive, and we'll see if we screw up. The wall is standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. You were supposed to meet with the group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. You may keep away the goblins and pebblers, but not beast folk, nor trolls, and the night is near. Your palfrey breathes heavily, it had a long day. Is that my horse? I guess that's my horse or animal companion. And because there's goblins, beast folk, and trolls, we're definitely dealing with a fantasy setting. So that's great. Our options are we can look for someplace else, we can look around, we can dismount and sneak, and we can get off the horse and enter the camp briskly. That sounds like a terrible idea, this last option, so we're gonna look around cautiously. Considering the noise, you doubt anyone has noticed the clatter of your hooves. The short, dry grasses barely cover the arid soil of this valley, but you're maybe a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods, which get denser as they climb up the hills. At best, this trail has a few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's the only route north. So there could be another route, but let's just take a little peek. Your heavy boots hit the... Okay, well, I didn't know I was wearing heavy armor. But your heavy boots hit the ground, and the pain of the long ride finally catches up to you. You stretch out, bring your backs and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space, the fire pit is cold. 2 people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice the quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbor. So far, it doesn't seem like too much of a threat. But maybe it's a pair of cannibals, who knows? It takes him a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes, his beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. So I take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeskin, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are wary yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these 2 surely look the part. Though there should be more of them. 8, you believe? I'll let them speak first. I might be talking to the wrong people. It's nice to see an unharmed traveler in this god's-forsaken shithole. Makes me just a tiny bit hopeful. The bearded man's voice is strong yet timid. You'll be staying the night with us, I guess. We're soldiers, he and I, adds the armed woman. Her moment switches from half asleep to relaxed. We'll do our best to keep the camp safe, but if you were to take the first watch, it would be a huge help. Travelers ought to help out each other, wouldn't you say? You think for a moment. To fully rest, you need a good sleep. Well, I think it would be better if we if we take the first watch, that would be good. Just so that we know we're not going to get ambushed, and they'll know that we're not going to backstab them, because they'll be able to wake up peacefully. So sure, leave it with me. Fantastic, she rubs her hands together. I don't remember the last time I had more than half a night of sleep. The hours before midnight should be the calmest. Just wake us up if anything happens. The man flashes you a wide smile. It's easy to wake us up. Just yell. He drinks from his mug. Okay, so now I'll ask them about their lieutenant. Do these mean anything? 30 minutes before dusk, and our health is 3 out of 4. Okay. We'll save here just to be safe. Oh, and here's a skill check. What is this? Whenever you meet new people, you can influence how they perceive you by selecting one of these attitudes. Friendly, playful, distracted, intimidating, vulnerable. Okay. So we do have intimidation. And I guess we don't have a deceit option. I guess maybe distance would be deceit. These guys seem wary, so we're not gonna do intimidating. We'll just be friendly. We'll be friendly. I was hoping to meet with your lieutenant. Could we talk for a bit? The woman lets out a loud sigh, dusts off her gabson, and steps towards you. She paid little attention to the sword at her side. We most definitely can, you and I. Though holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? She observes you curiously. Or are you looking for help? And then we can respond, I'm your new Roadwarden, and my horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece all by yourself. Better bring your beast here, as a lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet it's dreams of dropping a saddle. Long pause. I'm Tulia, by the way. She reaches out her hand. Okay, so the lieutenant is the female, and her name's Tulia. I shake her hand. It may be a trap. I gesture for her to stop pretending to be embarrassed. Should I be paranoid in this situation? Perhaps. But considering how they haven't raised their weapons at me, I think we'll be okay. We're not going to be the paranoid adventurer. I shake her hand. Let's see. What is our character's name going to be? I don't know if we're male or female. I don't even know if it matters. I guess we'll just be Will be R. R for now. Her grasp is confident, the shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tent, she steps away. We don't need to smell its dung. There's this one issue. There's this one issue. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. We've no tent to spare. You'll have to use a blanket or something. No problem. I enjoy observing the stars. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You can get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragon Woods from the conquest in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs you to survive, but without it, you too would be lost. It's my only companion here. I wanted to feel at ease. Yeah, so we do want to care for all palfrey. I don't know if that's his name or if that's what it's called. Like, this is the name for the type of horse? That could be a breed of horse I'm not aware of. It takes a few steps towards you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals, and even pets, as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know that horses need companionship. Okay, so I speak to it gently and I lead it to the camp. You end up in the next fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse snicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back, just in case. While riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal. With enough time, it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than this shabby grass. You should look for an inn. And let's unpack our stuff. Ooh, so we can choose our class here. You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left, but maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions essential for your trade. And so here we can choose one of three classes. We have the Fighter, which lets us start off with a fine gambeson, an axe made of steel, and a reliable crossbow with quarrels, so that's nice. We have the Mage, which has a talisman to use powers, as well as an iron axe and a worn gambeson. So we can cast spells if we're a mage, and then the Scholar has writing instruments and alchemical ingredients, as well as an iron axe, a worn gambeson, and a healing potion. So this is the only class that starts off with a healing potion. But I would assume offense is the best defense, especially in, D&D and other types of old school games. I don't really want to play the support character if we're going to be by ourselves. I don't know if we're going to be able to get companions later on. We might be able to. But just in case that this is a solo adventure, we are going to be the fighter. I think. Yeah, that's going to be the best choice for us, at least for now, because I chose the harder difficulty. Okay, so we have an inventory now. We have 2 food rations, 5 coins. We have our armor. We have a travel set. So this is a cloak, bone needles and a thread, an iron knife, blade sharpener, tinderbox, tallow candles, a bunch of rags for torches, flask of oil, protective gloves. Okay. We have a well-crafted battle axe. Very nice. And then we have a crossbow. So we have a melee and a ranged option. We got decent armor. Okay. Pretty good so far. And we have armor. Taking hits will damage your armor. Oh wow, okay. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced, the spare clothes are still here. Just in case, you take a look at your wooden bow and mug, your cape, tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. So let's return back to the soldiers. They're at the table again, observing your beast and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at the previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. Okay, let's join them and then take a look at the meal. It's code gruel. The meal is eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog millet, some strange-looking cereals, and blueberries. Welcoming you with a meal, even a humble one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move from one part of the realm to another, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Roadwardens, on the other hand, learn how to work by themselves, so we might be solo for this adventure. They seldom engage in open combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help the settlement stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, forge friendships. Where there are no laws to follow, they use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyles. Oh, so we also have hunger? Nourishment, yeah. Starvation won't allow you to restore vitality while resting. Okay, so let's just eat and then talk to Tulia. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can't tell you less than I would like to, and less than I should. She nods to the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot left. There's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead, 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land, adds her companion. Any piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What did the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No so governs these lands. And so, we say... Okay, well, I don't actually know what to share, but I guess we'll just share it with them. I don't see a reason to hide the information. You tell the soldiers how little guidance you've received, since this area is too far away from Hovlavon. Oops. So does... Oh, I have a journal. Does that actually... Oh. Oh, shoot. There's a whole journal? Does this actually have text? It does. So we might want to read up on this later, but we do have a journal so we can refer to some glossary words. We have a bestiary for creatures. Yeah, lots of fantasy creatures. We have the city of Hovlavon, I don't know how to say it, once the greatest harbors in the Dragon Woods, in the heart of northwestern province of the 10 cities. I was hired by its officials and merchants. Okay, so we didn't get really much out of that, to be honest with you. That was kind of useless. But let's get back to the text. You tell the soldiers how little guidance you've received. Since this area is too far away from Hovlavon to keep it under control, you were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, and monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. They turn into walking corpses, or find what they're looking for. No soul could tell me, so I was looking for guidance. Wow. The lieutenant drinks from a cup, crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? So now I can start asking questions. We could prioritize just asking for rope, but I think we should kind of establish a little bit of a relationship with these people first. So I guess we can ask what their mission was first. The lieutenant looks into your eyes. You know, the usual, making the road safe, keeping people alive. I can't really tell you. Let's just say it would be nice to have a reliable outpost somewhere nearby. A place where you can always find a group of fighters willing to protect you in the name of the law. She tilts her head back. Now, if you have any other questions. Should we ask about the squad? I guess we can ask about the squad already. I guess I'll ask about the previous Roadwarden first, since I'm a Roadwarden. Tilia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get this story straight. They confirm that he had stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes, and that wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave at dawn. Unlike us, Asterion never gets bored. Tulia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just don't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone's keeping him in the basement. Oh, the guy said that, but I act like Tulia said that. We haven't seen him, or his Saurian. What is a Saurian? Something ate him, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer Roadwardens often use four-legged meat-eating Saurians at their mounts. So these are like dinosaur mounts. Or lizard mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but, unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from any monsters. Alicia Palfrey is fast and reliable and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. So, do you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings, says Tulio. My predecessors left me no clues. We also took a look at Asterion stuff. Wait, she opens her palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to the nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Hovlovon. I was planning to take all his things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions, quite a treasure. She glances at you. But I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. Ooh, a quest already. Okay. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for stuff. Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilted sword. We've ordered a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Hovlovon together. You think about your real mission. You're planning to return to Hovlovon in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about making me take away all his possessions. Okay, so we got a quest. Find the Roadwarden. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd spare you anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He was a male, uses a spear mostly, maybe 5 feet tall, but stout. Long red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. So find out what happened to him. Dead, alive, left, just let me know. Okay, so we got our quest, our first quest. Slowly trying to figure out things. We're going to ask for rope now. You're in luck, she says, as she heads towards the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits in her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. Take a closer look. Find rope. Nice. So we could offer food in return, or we can just take it. I think we're gonna need the food. I honestly think we're gonna need the food. It's a little bit rude to just take something without giving back, but we're just gonna take the rope. And then we'll ask Tulia about how she became a lieutenant, and then I'm just gonna ask about what I should know about the peninsula, and we're gonna head out. That's not so much of a story, honestly. She looks at her hand, which is currently rolling a mug over a table. In exchange, there's a strict order of, what should I call it? She exchanges looks with her companion, but he can't help her. Well, leadership succession, I guess. Hovlovon's chief selects commanders, those select lieutenants, and those put their soldiers in order of priority. If the lieutenant dies, then they get replaced by the next soldier in line. No, not exactly. When we fought the bandits, our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped to help him, but failed to protect either of them from a spell. It was like a ball of ice that hung above them, then exploded, piercing their heads, completely avoiding their shield. Really unpleasant. She pauses. And you were the third one in line, is that right? Basically, yeah. she says without enthusiasm. I didn't plan to become a leader, though. I'll get demoted once we return to the city. I prefer to follow, anyway. Okay, so now we're going to ask about the peninsula. I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent palfrey, I'd guess it would be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues, from here, you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route allows Hovlavon officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes and move soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools. But maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore. Boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the sea folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp. But when we travel to the roadside in Pelt of the North, they're happy to trade, and to play dice. So why not just stay at one of the settlements? Oh shit, that's a lot of options, holy crap. The man clears his throat. I mean, you know, we're to guard this road. This camp in our post is our post. The man clears his throat. I mean, you know, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post. And, well, he turns towards Tulia. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, but are you a devout soul? Oh, so they're asking about my religion. Most city folk, I believe, should unite strength, dark magic. Everyone should be judged for both good and evil deeds. United Church, Order of Truth, my fellowship. There's pagan, and then there's just the nope. I'm agnostic. I'm like atheist. I don't know what to choose for our character. I think we're just gonna. We'll go with fellowship. That sounds good. Not too religious, but, you know, a man who values family and a community. I'm from a small village. For me, the freedom of shell, pneuma, and soul are the main virtues of life. My community is unique and independent, and so are its members. I have a place in my fellowship. Oh, I see. She hesitantly looks away. I don't know much about that river faith, but I'm sure we're not that different. I'm a unite myself. She says with a sort of pride in her voice. She follows the United Church. I'll just say, The people here are disquieting. Every few words she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with officials. Here, she starts to draw lines with her index finger as if she's pointing towards an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think so. It even has a priest who claims to be eremite, just like yourself. They do crazy shit, her companion chips in. I used the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged never to return there. I see. You've heard tales of such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without city influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. Okay, let's talk about monsters. When we saw all sorts of beasts, the man starts to count his fingers. Goblins, treants, cats large and small, runners, owlers, wolves, spiked boars, mouflon eaters, griffins, but we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with my mounts. Some could catch out with most mounts. Talia glances at her companion. Though a palfrey should be fine. So I guess a palfrey is different from a horse? I don't know. Maybe they're referring to something else. The trees are so tall that flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around here, and the animals are busy fighting among themselves. They fight more for food than territory. soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast. Just count on luck. I'm interested to ask more, but I also kind of just want to start heading out. So we're just gonna say that's all I need to know. She nods. I'm afraid we can't do more for you. And yeah, that's gonna be it for now. Are you sure? Says the bitter man. We may not be around the next time you come here. I agree, Tulia sighs with relief. And may you do better than Asterion did. Stay vigilant. She winks at you, shattering the mask of a soldier. Okay. You go to the barrel and splash water on your face. What makes you even more aware of how much you need is a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. Your horse is already napping, too anxious to lay down. I prepare for my watch. The soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around, though they won't try to jump over the palisade, probably. Better watch out for the apes. They climb up and carry out any food they can find. And there's this one really loud werewolf that keeps smelling the wall, though it's never tried to get in. He points at the gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes here looking for shelter, better call us out to help. And if this someone is being chased by wolves or anything, better throw him a rope instead. He scratches his head. If it gets cold, feel free to make a fire. And the best place is on the watchtower. You may want to put a blanket there or something. The watchtower? I don't see a watchtower here. Oh, this is the watchtower. He gives you a long puzzled look. Oh yeah! He points at the pile of crates. Just climb up to the tallest one. You'll have a great view of the northern side, the more dangerous side. And also, I know you're tired after all that riding. He points at the tents on the other side of the camp. I can handle a couple hours of sleep in the ground. If you wish, go there after me and rest just this once. At least I'll have a pallet inside. We'll accept his offer. I smile, thanks a lot. You put your blanket on the tallest crate and sit down. The night is warm, the sporadic summer breeze brings a gentle refreshment. From time to time, your back aches. You force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you to focus on tall grasses. For most of the time, you spot smaller critters and birds, but there are exceptions. At one point, the three-horned deers, trying to challenge one another. Before they clash their antlers, a two-legged dragling appears, leading its much smaller offspring. The furry beast tried to intimidate predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to risk a fight, nor to admit their defeat. So, yeah, let's not let it distract us. Keep looking around. You hear the death screams of distant prey and the mating calls of monkeys. Runners are chasing a grey hare. A group of musk oxen lazily chew the grass, preparing themselves to sleep. A dust fox is running together with a lynx, making playful screeches. Thankfully, you've never have to intervene. You just sit there, watching the not-so-distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You can only guess how much time has passed. Once you feel you've had enough, you climb down and go to a tent, waking up the bearded man with just a couple words. You confirm that nothing important has happened. So gather things, sweep the tent, use bag as a pillow and blanket on the pallet, and we get some rest. Sleeping in the tent is not the stuff of dreams, but it's as much welcome rest. The pallet keeps the cold soil away. The moonlight saves the outside world from eerie gloom. You listen to your own breath and find a comfortable position. Your job starts tomorrow. I focus on the real goal of my dream. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your wardening duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula. Learn about the territory, resources, and threats. Get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Havlavan, officials and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers, or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have time. 30 days to be exact. Okay, so this is the main quest. Explore the peninsula, learn about the people, see, if they're willing to negotiate, and if they have illegal activities. Okay, so 30 days. That doesn't sound like a lot of time, but I guess we'll see. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you speak with Tulia and return to Harlevon. There, you'll be reported back to your employer and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal to pursue. Okay, so we do have a personal goal that we can choose. This is, I guess, our character hook. I need to gather some extra coins for a person I care about. Gather extra coins so I can retire early. Major Player Merchant Guild. I want to be remembered as a soul who brought peace and order to this realm. I think we'll go with the new life. I've had a difficult past and I want it to be forgotten. So we'll say, you know, we are perhaps of a fighter background because we served in a military of some sort. We were a mercenary, and we killed a lot of people. We don't feel too great about it, and yeah, we want to turn over a new leaf and hopefully find a place here. I don't know. So yeah, we're gonna find a new life for ourselves. Your half-asleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious through the pleasant, humid, late summer air. Your half-asleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious, though the pleasant, humid, late summer air evens it out slowly. You're thinking about your go. Wait, you can't travel during the night. Sleep button to rest. Okay. You're thinking about your go, but you need to gather your strength. So we sleep. You can spend the night in a borrowed tent. It's nothing special, but it'll protect you from wind rain. Okay, so we lose... What the heck is a star? We lose hunger and we lose a star? Oh, this is appearance. You're woken up by sunlight, well rested and ready. Without haste, you gather your things. After only a couple breaths, you notice a weird smell like a roast. No, burning meat. Burning, rotten meat. Disgust crawls into your consciousness. You exit the tent. Your horse is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you had left them. You see an open gate. Go outside. Both soldiers are standing near a humble pyre. The man in the shirt looks at it completely tentatively. Ah, fuck. Both soldiers are standing near a humble pyre. The man in the shirt looks at it contemplatively. Tulia is the first one to address you. Ah, she greets you with a nod. We use the horse's manure for the flames, so you don't have to worry about cleaning it up. You see a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belongs to a female or male, but it was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple more hours. A traveller or an undead. The latter, a young one, she lacked the pneuma to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She shifts away. One more fog and she'd be a real threat. Even now it took a couple of hits to knock her down. Sooner or later, every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength with each soul it devours and each moment it spends in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even road wardens. Making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Tulia calls this undead a she. Most unites hesitate to do so. Time for me to leave. Running away from the Rika? I don't blame you. She walks with you for a few steps. Want to see if you need us, or if you learn what happened to Asterion. There's enough ground here for you to rest. Safe travels. These words make you stop. An old farewell, mocked in a number of songs and tales, but yet you hear no scorn in Tulia's voice. You wonder how many acts of kindness like this one you're going to experience in the days to follow. She returns to the pyre, and we are about to head out. You somehow missed the fact. You somehow missed the fact that your mount is already saddled and warmed up. You double check the equipment, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent. Normally, preparing any palfrey for a long journey takes a lot of time. You put on your gambeson and make sure that your axe is tightly attached to your belt. Then get saddled. The palfrey knickers ready to leave. It's time for you to get to the crossroads. North of here. Travel forward to continue your journey. Once you're done with the north, speak to Tulia and return to Havavon. Oh wow. So we just travel north. Okay, so we're actually gonna start setting out on our adventure. I guess that was like kind of the little introduction. It's about 50 minutes into the recording. I'm probably gonna cut it down if I can, but if I don't, then this is already pretty lengthy. So that's gonna be it for our first episode of Roadwarden. This really just kind of ended up to be me like doing an audiobook of this game. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I know my accents aren't exactly the greatest. They're not consistent. That's what I'm trying to work on right now, because I do play D&D and I DM, or I play a character. So I am trying to get those accents a little bit more consistent. Hopefully you found them somewhat, bearable to deal with. If not, then I apologize in advance. But that's going to be it for our first episode of Roadwarden. So far, I'm actually pretty immersed in the dialogue. The writing for this is pretty solid. I like it a lot. This 50 minutes went by very fast, so I'm definitely going to try to play more of this game, and if you guys enjoy it, then hopefully I'll try to do a playthrough of this game. But I guess we'll see. They say that it's about 30-hour long playthroughs, so it should be a pretty good amount of content. And yeah, we haven't even fought yet, but I'm actually pretty invested into this game, so I guess we'll see what happens next. But I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. You can like, comment, or subscribe to help out the channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.